Hey everybody, welcome into TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. We're growing that YouTube page as much as possible. I do it at the end, but now I'm doing it in the beginning. It's called a like, comment, subscribe sandwich. On the show, OB and myself, we did the top performers, our Apex performers of the week. I think they were kind of obvious out there. We had Jamie McCoy on the program talking about all things offense. Alex Donno, Locked on Canes, gave us a little insight when it came to the University of Miami. And we kept it real with Jordan Pugh, our guy here on TexAgs Rewind.
So because I'm not going to go for the low-hanging fruit, I'm going to say, how about this for a debut? Okay, for your first game at Texas A&M, Josh DeBerry.
Okay.
Got an interception. All right.
Look at that. We already had a graphic ready for it. Look at that.
A&M only had 4 interceptions last year. He gets about 10 tackles. Wasn't there a lot of angst in the offseason about the depth and everything at cornerback? Well, we didn't even think that he was going to be the starter.
Yeah.
It was a mild surprise. Is that?
Yeah, I think
fair?
most people were thinking because they got Tony Grimes,
right?
And
Sam McCall.
Yeah.
You know the guys. By the way, Javon Thomas. Small sample size. He looked
really
good.
I liked it.
I'm not worried about that that depth. But look at Josh DeBerry. Comes in from Boston College. Plays really well. Got an interception. We haven't seen enough of those. Played a physical style. So Josh DeBerry, because I'm not going for the low hanging fruit. I'm going for DeBerry.
DeBerry. Hey, I feel like because I'm going to bring up one guy.
Luke gave me
I liked it. I liked it. I just run through the stop sign sometimes. California stop. All right, we'll keep the show moving. I'm going to say Noah is my next one. But I feel like if you bring up Noah, you have to bring up Evan. I feel like they're both kind of get some props here. But Noah Thomas, 6 receptions, 74 yards, 3 touchdowns. And it probably could have been 4. I mean, like it felt like that. If you haven't listened to my interview with him on Stack, you need to go do it. He was fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, they have a lot of really sharp guys on this team.
I didn't have the team make a graphic for this one. But Evan Stewart, I mean, you got to throw him. I mean, when you have a quiet 2-touchdown, 115-yard game. And I say quiet because I think Noah was more the chatter.
Yeah.
But Evan was fantastic. Like, I feel like there's a new chapter in the book. There was this chapter here, like the beginning part of Jimbo, and it got high and then it got a little low. And now we're on to a new chapter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, new chapter. And I like to say it's a remix. Somebody just added somebody wrote in a new ending. But no, I agree. These guys don't have the old team's old problems. This is a new set of teams, new set of challenges, and it's just a matter of if these guys are ready to face those and face them head on, which I think they are. I'm excited to see the growth and the maturity of the boys, and I think they take a step this weekend. They say it's always week 1 to week 2. I think it's going to be a big step.
We'll see if Drake makes a cameo here in this remix that you're talking about. Let's let's have one closing thought. How much college football were you able to take in? Any real thing that happened this weekend that caught your attention? Like, oh, okay, maybe Elko last night with Duke beating Clemson, Dion. What caught your attention this week?
Big kudos to Elko. I love Clemson being the program they've been for the last 10 years or so, and Elko to come in and knock them off and do there's been a whole lot of firsts for Duke, and I'm proud that he's the guy leading the charge because he's a great guy. We know everything that he's about, so good on him. This weekend, there wasn't really any marquee games, nothing to even want to record or anything. But before we took off, I did get to catch Dion upset TCU. And I love that. Going into it, I didn't think I liked Shadur's throwing motion, and I didn't know how they'd fare against, team that was in the championship last year. But to see what they were able to do with their pace on offense and then defense stand up, it was a great game to watch, and it was shocking to see a 20-point dog come out there and get a win. So I was proud of Dion as well.
Yeah, Miami is the punchline of a lot of national jokes when it comes to attendance. But these are the types of games that the fans do show up for. There's always a few of those spotlights on the schedule. A game like Texas A&M, every Miami fan knows how important this one is. They got Clemson. Clemson looked awful the other night, but Clemson at home on the schedule later this year is going to be certainly a big one. I would expect the sellout. They can pack about 68,000, something like that, into that building, Hard Rock Stadium. So it's not as big as Kyle Field, but I expect it to be full. I expect it to be loud. And the big thing is, for any Aggies fans coming down, I know that they are certainly accustomed to the heat as well in Texas, but don't expect to get any of a break from that, because it has been, record highs in humidity down in Miami. So with this being a 3:30 game, get ready to sweat a lot.
Yeah, we've been getting our 100-degree days here for the entire summer, so I think we're used to that. That being said, and the humidity here is pretty bad as well. Let's talk a little bit about last year. You faced an A&M team. The Canes faced an A&M team that had a different starting quarterback. That was Max Johnson in that game. You didn't see Evan Stewart, who was suspended for that game. You didn't see Noah Thomas, who became a star. We saw it happening during the spring, but he became a star this past week. It wasn't the Bobby Petrino offense. So how different does it feel playing this version of A&M's team to last year's, which was a one-score game?
Completely different. And that was my big takeaway watching the Aggies against New Mexico, was just how good that passing game looked, how good the receivers looked, how much better Wegman looks. I talked with Miami's defensive coordinator, Lance Guidry, about him earlier this week on Monday. And, he was very complimentary of Wegman and said that, he moves like an ex-receiver. So it's not only his arm, it's his mobility as well.
Yep. Well, we said it a couple of weeks ago, too. I think we have the most underrated receiver room in the country. I think we have one of the top receiver rooms in the country. So you look at Stewart at 115 yards receiving, something like that, over 100, 2 touchdowns. You look at Noah, every time you turn around, it looked like he was scoring a touchdown. You know what I mean? Big body. He reminds me of Mike, a lot of Mike Evans. Same kind of body type, can go attack the ball in the air. Moose hardly touched the ball. Anais hardly touched the ball. I mean, you're looking at two of the most dynamic guys we have in the receiving room, and they hardly touched the ball. And when they did, they were dynamic with it. The biggest thing with this team was we wanted to see them score a lot of points, dominate, of course, but it was just the operation and the systems of the offense. It looked smooth. It looked like a team that had 4- and 5-star players. That's what it looked like. And so that is encouraging, man. If there's anything to be encouraged about, is that. It was a seamless operation.
Talking to Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Radio. I got to ask you about the defense, because people will point at that one drive and really that one big run. But other than that, I mean, they did what they were supposed to do.
It looked good. The front, we talked about dominating on both lines of scrimmage. I thought the front made their presence felt. Walter Nolan was dominant. I think Shamar Stewart made his case. Overall, man, I think that they did what they needed to do defensively. It was nothing that we didn't expect. I think the jury's still out. Not in the secondary, but at the corner position. I still want to see more. I think this Miami game is going to tell us more. You got better athletes, better competition at that wideout spot. But overall, defensively, I think it was less than 250 yards total offense, if I'm not mistaken, less than 100 yards rushing. You can win a whole lot of games with that type of performance on defense. I also thought the offense helped the defense. When you play defense, you know that your offense can put up points. You know that your offense can sustain drives. You know that you have the new clock rule where games are shortened. Man, it does something to a defense and allows you to play more free.
All right, I already told you what to do, so do it again. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time here on TexAgs Rewind, presented by Yeti.